Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. For today's review, we're taking a look at the Inart 112 Batman The Dark Knight Rises Standard Edition of the figure. I'm feeling a little bit better, so I decided to hop back on, do a couple of reviews because I got a ton of stuff in yesterday when I was feeling like garbage. So, luckily today I feel a little bit better, and we can kind of take a look at some of these new things, starting with Batman. So I got this one from Bombas B. First time ordering from there, great experience. If nobody's ordered from there before, definitely recommend it. Um, this came in this like brown box, like inside of the normal like shipper packaging, says standard version, and then on the inside it has another box that just says Inart and has like a little logo there. And within this box, you get the Dark Knight Rises actual packaging for the figure. As you can see, it's like a matte finish, so it does collect any kind of like greasy fingerprints. So mine is from lotion. So yeah, it collects fingerprints. So if you wanted to keep this box like pristine, just be aware of that and like dust it off afterward. You'll see down here, Queen Studios Inart just has the Batman logo there. Standard version on the side, the Dark Knight trilogy. Then on the back, just some brand information, some legalese. Then on the other side, the Dark Knight trilogy. So let's get this guy out of the box and take a closer look. And here's the Dark Knight Rises Christian Bale Batman out of the box from Inart. I've never actually purchased any of the other versions of the Dark Knight Rises Bale suit Batmans because, spoiler alert, I actually don't really like this suit for Batman. I know it's probably some kind of sin for somebody, but my favorite suit is Batman Begins, and I feel like we don't have enough figures of Batman Begins. Especially love the cape, which is like that crushed velvet type material on the back. I think is really nice. I don't know. It just looks awesome. So I will hope that maybe Inart can give us that, but for now we have this one, the Dark Knight Rises. The only reason why I picked this guy up is because it looks to be the best version of this figure, and I'm like, if I have to buy one, I want to buy the best one. So taking a look at him, like he has a lot of nice different paint variations in the black and like this lighter like gunmetal looking gray color. You can see all the detail and patterns and like the Kevlar weave. And I know like sometimes I think they show that these pieces are like kind of looks like see-through almost, but for the Inart it's just like that painted and then textured version. You can't feel the texture, at least I can't, but you can feel like these grooves in there are actually sculpted in. The Bat logo looks nice. His belt looks really good. I always liked this belt, and I'm glad that it kind of stayed the same from Batman Begins all the way to the end of the trilogy. Really nice paint and sculpt on there. Everything's very clean. Very nice. None of these pouches open or anything like that. You can't remove anything, as far as I can tell. And then for his gauntlets, very nice from the League of Assassins. Very cool. He has the double rows of gauntlets, and you can see that they flip out. That's pretty cool. They don't flip out on this figure, but from the grooves here, you can tell that they flip out to come together like that, which is nice. The gloves has a nice differentiation where it has that like glossy color right there on the knuckles. Then the rest is just nicely sculpted right there. Then coming down to the legs, really nice looking. The boots look like a different texture altogether. You can see the zipper right there. And I guess they're all black, which is good. And then the bottom of the feet, which is nice. It doesn't look like he has the thing in Batman Begins where he could pull like a little thing off the bottom of his boot and like call bats to him. So I don't think that's on this suit, or if it is, I guess it's just something that's completely black and blends in, which makes sense. But yeah, mine has these two little dots right here. I don't know if that's, oh, I guess they're on both sides, so I guess it is canon to the suit design, which is pretty cool. Nice attention to detail. And then coming up to the head, mine came out of the box with like the ear that was kind of bent inward, so I have to keep kind of pressing it outwards. I know with a blow dryer it'll probably stay if I blow dried it and kind of pressed it out. But yeah, looks good. This looks like Christian Bale. The head sculpt, mouth sculpt looks good. The eyes look really nice. I don't know how good this will show that, but you can see the shine there, the reflective gloss for the eyes looks really, really nice, nicely sculpted. Can't complain. The mask is form-fitting. Back of the head looks good. And then again, the side profile. So yeah, overall aesthetic-wise, I mean, this guy looks the way he's supposed to, from my recollection. Everything looks really nice, and he has a really striking silhouette. So going over his articulation for the head, you can look up a lot. So you can look up about that much. So if you need him, you know, doing any kind of like diving poses or just looking up at the camera or something like that, you can do that. He can look down about that much, which is great. His neck articulation is wonderful, as well as you can get any gapping whatsoever. He does have really nice head pivot, so head tilt side to side. Again, that neck piece is really helping him out there. And the neck itself can move all the way around. Of course, you can get him to turn side to side. So yeah, anything you want to do with his head, you got it. For his arms, these shoulder pads are on looks like a ball hinge or just a hinge in general. So they do move up and out of the way. And then you can lift his arms up and they kind of move up with it. Let me see how far we can push these. So his arms can go up about that high. And then coming around for the butterfly. They don't go forward that far. This chest piece is not like a squishy soft material, but you do see that the butterflies are working. Mine is like separating right here on this one, but it's together here. So I don't know why that is, but that's just something to be aware of. So be aware of that on your copy. And then, you know, once you do that, you can just put the shoulder pads back down and it covers that up, which is cool. He does have a bicep swivel here. You can rotate his arms, just be very, very careful if you want to do it 360 because these shoulder pads will kind of block it, as well as the butterfly joint right there. So I'm not going to spin mine all the way around, but be careful if you decide to. He does have double jointed elbows, which look really nice, very natural, has a little elbow pad there. The gauntlet here doesn't spin at all. But then for the wrist, you have your typical side-to-side movement. I think it's on this like little mushroom peg. It's actually pretty long too, and it has a satisfying pop to pull the hands on and off, which is really nice. And then for the torso, you can twist side to side. And as you can see, like each of these sections kind of move independently. He has a little bit of side-to-side tilt. Crunch, with using everything, he can go forward about that far. The cool thing back here is that all of these parts separate when he moves forward, which is pretty cool. The sad thing about it is you get this huge gap. Like the middle of his body is just empty and it's kind of just hidden by his belt, which I guess is fine, but I wish there was some other way to do this. Part of me thinks like his torso is really long, but maybe that's how he's supposed to be. Maybe that's how Christian Bale is built. I don't know. It just seems like a tiny bit too long. And then moving back, you can get back about that far, which isn't crazy far, but I guess it's good for anything you're trying to do. But yeah, he can definitely get kind of crunched down, which is pretty cool. And then for the legs, let's see how far he can do the splits. Get out to about that far. And he has like the same kind of butt flap technology as like Tamashii Nation, so be aware of that. And kick forward about that far. He does have double jointed knees, which look really good. They move really nicely and they're sculpted on the inside. He does have a dedicated thigh swivel, which is always awesome. The boot kind of swivels, but not really. And then down here at the ankles, I think is like the weakest part for this figure. He goes down about that much. Kind of comes up a little bit about that much. And then the ankle pivot, I guess if you wiggle it, it actually does a little bit more. When I was playing with it initially, it didn't go that far, but if you wiggle it out a little bit, you can get into a pretty decent ankle rocker. So I take that back. His ankles are fine. Of course, we could always have more articulation, but it's fine for the meantime. But yeah, this guy articulates pretty well, and you could probably get him into whatever poses you want to get him into. So no problems there. But let's take a look at some of the accessories that he comes with. One other thing I forgot to mention is that this Batman does have a toe joint. And it's kind of stiff on mine. That's probably why I forgot about it. But yeah, he does have a toe joint. Alright, for his first accessory, of course, what is Batman without his cape? He comes with this cape. It's not wired. It does have some pleats in here, but it did come to me wrinkly. It's probably going to come to you wrinkly, but if it doesn't, I mean, good on you. For one, I don't like this cape. I already pre-ordered a custom cape that should release in July or August that has more of that crushed velvet look, is actually wired and seems to be made of a really nice material. But this one will do for now. It doesn't really do much of anything besides drape behind his back, so no kind of like cowl or cape over the shoulders look. I mean, you could pull it out, but these pleats kind of make it hard for you to do so. The chest plate is magnetic, so that's how you attach it. So you pull this off, and then underneath you'll see the cape pieces there. And it's kind of a pain to put back together. But, yep, that's how that looks. He does come with 4 batarangs, 2 of which are these tiny foldable ones. I mean, they're all tiny, but I guess these are bigger than the other ones. But this is the foldable version of them. They do not fold, so don't fold them. You'll break them. But they do have the seam down the middle. And then you do get the version that does not fold, which is just like the little shuriken looking batarang, which is very nice, all painted in that nice plastic, or I guess maybe molded in that same nice plastic. And then you do get a sticky bomb gun, which is really nice. I like the see-through red that's on it. The little bit of white that's right there is really nice, and then the different gold pieces. Very cool. The rivets and everything on that look really good. And you get his grapnel launcher. This is probably one of my like top 5 favorite versions of the grapnel launcher. I think it looks really, really cool. I always liked how it could attach to his belt. Very nice paint and sculpt. Very nice details on it. So it looks good. Does not come with any kind of like hook or anything, so keep that in mind. Then he comes with his EMP gun. This is again all that darkish gray, very, very dark gray color. Then it does have the blue on the front, which is nice. Doesn't light up, so don't try to pull it apart. And then for hands, comes with a pair of these splayed out hands for poses, action poses, whatever you want to do. He comes with a pair of hands to like cup something or hold something. Comes with this other pair of hands where you could use to like tap something, or it also could be used to support like the EMP gun or even the sticky bomb gun. Comes with 2 pairs of trigger finger hands, which seem to work on all of the weapons that he comes with that require a trigger anyway. And then he has another pair of trigger finger hands, which are a little tighter. So anything with like a smaller handle, you'll use these for. And that's all the hands he comes with. So in terms of hands to like hold the batarangs, I mean, I guess you could use, I don't know, maybe this one? I guess they'd only really work with like the bigger foldable batarangs. These hands are all soft too, so yeah, I guess that can kind of work, but there's no dedicated hand that I see that's supposed to specifically work with the batarang. Especially the tiny ones, because they're so small. But yeah, I definitely don't see a hand for that, so I don't know what their thought process was on having him hold that and not lose it in the carpet, but keep that in mind. Then the final accessories he comes with the for the standard edition are 2 different mouth plates. So this is the first one, looks kind of calm compared to the one he has on him. They look to be very similar. I guess this one's like more concentrated pouty and this one's a little bit more calm. And then he has another one, which hopefully I don't drop these. Looks like this. So I do see the difference in these two kind of, but they all really just look the same. So I don't know if I got 3 of the same faceplate, which I honestly don't even blame the people in the factory for, because they look so similar. Just like, okay, that's fine. But yeah, I don't know. I would have preferred something with like a little bit more expression, like yelling or something like that. Or a little bit more of a frown would be nice. But yeah, so that's all the accessories he comes with for the standard edition. I think the deluxe comes with a stand, which I didn't really care about, so I wasn't going to spend the extra money for that. But yeah, nice spread of accessories. The only disappointing part is really this cape and the 2 mouthpieces, which to me seem like the same thing, so I'm not sure why they packed in 2 of the same ones. As well as no dedicated hand to hold the batarangs. I think that's kind of a missed opportunity, but I guess they have the reasons for doing so. But yeah, nice accessory spread, just a couple of gripes there. Well, let's get into some size comparisons. And for our first size comparison, here he is standing next to the Mafex Batman. I think this is the Justice League version of the Batman v Superman suit, like the upgraded version of it. And then we have the Nightmare Batman here from Muff Toys. It's funny that these guys kind of have the similar problem. Mafex is even worse with it, where like this middle section is just a gap and the belt is hiding it. At least you can hide it a little bit better on the Inart version. But yeah, I mean, I don't know if Christian Bale is shorter than Ben Affleck, but if he is, then these will, you know, match up perfectly. Again, the Muff Toys is a little bit taller than both these guys, so that's just on a different league of its own, but this is how they kind of scale together. And then here he is next to a Mafex Deadpool, and then the NECA TMNT movie Leonardo. Again, I think he's a really nice size. Deadpool is taller than him, and so is Leonardo, but I still think that he scales, you know, pretty decently between these guys. For Jada Toys comparisons, here he is standing next to a Jada Toys DJ and a Jada Toys Chun-Li. He scales really nicely with these guys. You know, he's taller than Chun-Li. He's basically standing toe-to-toe with DJ, so you could definitely mix and match this line if you wanted to. And last but not least, here he is standing next to a Marvel Legends animated series Spider-Man and a Marvel Legends Iron Man. He stands really nicely next to Spider-Man. He is going to be shorter than Iron Man. It is a guy in a suit, but I do kind of think he's a little bit, just like a smidge too tall. Or maybe just proportion-wise, he just looks kind of large. But yeah, these will look great next to the Inart Batman and any other Marvel Legends that you have, so definitely feel free to mix those lines too. So for final thoughts, I like this figure a lot. This might not be my favorite suit, but Inart's figure is definitely my favorite version of this suit. Like articulation-wise, sculpt-wise, the way it looks, the way it moves. It's great. Definitely recommend picking this guy up. He's not super expensive, but I know with the tariffs and everything, it's kind of driven this guy's price up. You know, the shipping in general, well, is kind of killer to get it overseas. And he's not allowed to be sold over here normally, so he won't be on BBTS. You have to go through a place like Bombasby, or try to find some kind of middleman to get you this guy. But yeah, definitely recommend picking him up if this is your favorite version of Batman and you wanted a really high quality figure that's not the Mafex. I've only looked at this guy and Inart because they're going to do the Black Myth Wukong stuff, so super excited for that. Stay tuned for reviews on those when those come in. But yeah, definitely like this Batman. Let me know down in the comments below if you guys like him too, or if you're going to pick him up, and what other Batmans would you like to see him make. I know they're making Arkham Origins Batman, so super excited for that. Love that suit, love that line. Hope they continue making more figures from the video games. Again, thank you guys for watching. Take care, and have a great rest of your day.